God gives each and every one of us gifts, and it's what we do with those gifts. We know we don't want to bury them. We want to make them grow. Not only do we want to like hold on, but we want to make them grow. You know, my gift has been given to me in storytelling, and so I get to share Jesus. I get to share the gospel. I get to share God through storytelling and through all different avenues.
Hey everybody, I'm Cheryl from Movieguide, and this is Coffee and Conversation with Candace. Hi, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
You are an award-winning actress, producer, New York Times bestselling author, and Movieguide fan favorite.
Aww.
Ainsley McGregor is on the case again as you star in the newest mystery series, A Case for the Yarn Maker, streaming on Pureflix. Candace, how fun was it to film this second movie in the series?
Oh, it's so great. I absolutely love this mystery series. You know, they're cozy mysteries. They're just fun for the whole family to watch. But in this second installment, you're getting to see reoccurring characters. You're getting to see the community more. And as we continue on more of these movies, you'll get to see more and more. But yeah, I love the mystery genre. I always have. And it's just fun to try to figure out who's done it, you know? And I hear feedback from so many families that their kids love watching them, young kids, they're teenagers. It's like a fun time with mom and dad. It's not, you know, like it's cool enough because of the mystery part.
Yeah, growing up, did you like detective type shows like Sherlock Holmes, or did you read books like Nancy Drew, the Hardy Boys, or did you even like Scooby-Doo?
Oh my goodness, I loved Scooby-Doo. I mean, I watched it every Saturday morning as a kid. And yeah, I always liked the mystery genre. I read Nancy Drew, I read Hardy Boys also. And then I think as my parents, we would watch Murder, She Wrote and Columbo and all of those. And yeah, they're just interesting because you got to think a little bit. It's kind of, I like to say mindless entertainment, but you still have to use your brain, like if you want to. And I think that's why I love them so much. But yeah, I grew up on them also.
Yeah. The first film, A Case for the Winemaker, was one of the highest rated originals on Great American Family. Wow. And how do you think the series is resonating with audiences?
Well, I think this was like really the first of the mystery genre to be on Great American Family Channel. And I think there are some mysteries on Great American Pureflix, but you know, I came off of a very successful franchise before, the Aurora Tea Garden franchise. And so I was excited to start a new one. And I think the audience that knows me from that one was equally as excited to see these new mysteries come into play. But what I love is the new relationships and the new community. And that's what these movies are really all about. And I think that resonates with people. It's kind of like watching your favorite TV show. You really get to know the characters over every episode. And that's the same thing with these movies. You're getting to know all the people in Bless Your Arts. That's the community shop that Ainsley owns, and all of these artisans present their homemade crafts and everything that are for sale. And then, yeah, every movie kind of focuses on a new person within the community, but they're in all of the movies.
Yeah. So we have to talk about the most wonderful time of year. Candace, you always give us a gift of great movies at Christmas time. And you'll star again with your daughter, Natasha. And the movie's called Timeless Tidings of Joy. Tell us about it.
Yeah, this was such a blessing to me as a mom. My daughter's been an actress for over 10 years. It's what her career path has been. And she's a wonderful actress. And I've been looking for a project, really hoping that we could do something together. And I asked her if she would do this movie with me. And she said yes. And I know that probably sounds like an easy thing, like, of course, it's your daughter. Why wouldn't you want to do a movie? But it's not that easy. It's not she has her own career and she has her own goals, and she wants to not separate herself from me, but she wants to forge her own path in her career. So there's been a long time where she's like, Mom, I don't want to do anything with you because I want my own career. And I fully understand it and respect it so, so much. But I developed this one with her in mind, and I was like, Lord, please, could you convince Natasha that she hits yes and do this one with me? So it is very special and meaningful for me. And the story that we created, we have two wonderful writers that actually wrote one of last year's Christmas movies that won one of the Movieguide awards, Macy McLean and Taylor Kalupa. They are wonderful women that write so beautifully. And so we talked about a story, and I said, I'd really like to do a time travel movie. I'd love to go back into the 1940s. And we came up with this idea, and they wrote a fantastic story where I go back in time and I meet my grandmother when she's 20 years old in 1945. And my grandmother is being played by my daughter, Natasha.
I love that.
It's such a cool story. And this Christmas movie is very much about that relationship, a grandmother and a granddaughter, and really seeing the sacrifices that she made and the purpose and the heart behind all of the choices that she made along the over the years, when I couldn't understand in present day why she would make those choices. And then I got to go back and see why she did. So that one's really, really special. It also co-stars Paul Green, who's a fan favorite. But it's not a love story in any way. It's really about a grandmother and a granddaughter. And then I have a second Christmas movie. Maybe you were going to talk about it.
Yeah, no, go ahead. I didn't know if you were able to talk about it yet. Go ahead.
Yeah, I am. So it is the sequel to one of last year's Christmas movies. It's the sequel to Home Sweet Christmas, and I believe we're going to call it Another Sweet Christmas.
Oh.
And it co-stars Cameron Matheson, and we are continuing the journey of Sam and Sophie. They are longtime friends that rediscovered each other and just knew that they were always in love with each other. And now we get to watch them get married. So it's a fun Christmas story, and we get a wedding in it.
Oh, I love that. I can't wait. It's going to be so great. Besides everything else you're doing, you also have a new devotional out. It's called 100 Days of Joy and Strength. And Candace, as women, we often struggle with anxiety and our identity and knowing our true worth. Can you share a tip with us to help us find peace and calm in the chaos?
Oh, well, my answer is really simple. It's all in the Word of God. It's in Jesus, and just knowing who God is, knowing His character, because God is with us every moment of every day. He never leaves us, and He really does give us our joy and our strength. And the title of this book, of the devotional, 100 Days of Joy and Strength, comes from Nehemiah 8:10, that the joy of the Lord is our strength. And so we find joy not in our circumstances, not dependent upon whether we're happy or things are going well. Our true joy comes from the Lord and knowing Him, knowing that He cares for us, knowing that there's hope in Him in eternity, like to spend eternity with Him. That's the great hope that He gives us. And so there's always joy knowing that He's with us despite what's going on around us. And sometimes life can be really difficult. It can be really hard. It can be exhausting. It can be tiring. And sometimes it just feels boring. It feels mundane. It feels monotonous. It just feels like Groundhog's Day. And, I wrote this so that we are reminded every day. You read 2 pages like this, and that's your daily devotional. It's like a little personal story, scripture, and a little prayer. And it's just to remind you to reconnect with the Lord, to remind you that He's always with you, that you don't need all the strength on your own. You find your strength in Him. And it helps you just renew your mind and to remember those promises that God gives us. And if we focus on those things each and every day, it really helps us get through every day, knowing that this isn't the end all. Our life here on earth is not the end all. And that's where our hope comes from.
Yeah, and if you can do that first thing in the morning, it's so helpful. It sets your whole day.
It really does.
Yeah. You're Chief Creative Officer at Great American Family. Candace, why is it so important to you to create entertainment that inspires?
God gives each and every one of us gifts, and it's what we do with those gifts. We don't want to bury them, and we want to make them grow. Not only do we want to hold on, but we want to make them grow. And so I really feel like, my gift has been given to me in storytelling, and so I get to share Jesus. I get to share the gospel. I get to share God through storytelling and through all different avenues, whether they're through books or they're through movies or through my podcast. The talent that God's given me, it is in that creative space. It is in entertainment. And I don't want to make something just for the sake of making it, or even making money on it. I know we're supposed to do that, tell my business partners that. They care more about that than I do, but that's a good thing because I need them to care about that. But if there isn't a purpose behind it for me, then it's not worth it. I don't want to put something out there just for someone to watch and go, okay, and that's it. I want it to impact a life in some way. And that impact could be different. It could be, when I think of inspirational entertainment, it could come in the form of faith-based content, surely, to share the gospel, to share God, to share moments of reconciliation or resilience, those kinds of things. It could mean just connecting family together, that mom and dad are sitting with their kids or grandkids and they're laughing together and maybe even crying together over something that's meaningful, but then they get to have a conversation about it and talk about it. Those are the things that are important to me. And so any content that I create has to have purpose and a meaning. And those are two of the biggest places where I find that. And if those dots connect and I can find a purpose for wanting to follow through on it, those are the projects that I'll choose.
Yeah. You've done so much, from Full House to Dancing with the Stars to co-hosting The View. What makes you so fearless to live life to the fullest?
Well, I'm not fearless. I'm a big scaredy cat, I'll tell you that. But there's something in me, and I think it's just God's voice nudging me along, that I know He's going to be with me and He helps me push through the fear. That's really what it comes down to. I was just on The Masked Singer that aired a few months ago, and I've never sung before. I can't really sing. I was so scared to do that show. I turned it down 4 times, but I kept thinking, if it's so scary, I think I have to do it because it helps me trust and rely on God. And that might seem like a silly answer, oh, it's The Masked Singer, this should be fun. But anything that scares me, there's something in me that's nope, you got to do it. You have to do it. And it's, yes, just to say okay, I did it. I conquered it. I got through it. But ultimately in my heart, I know God's with me, whether I succeed or fail. He's just with me. And I love that about Him. And I think that's why I do the scary things.
Yeah, I love that so much. I want to give a quick shout out to your podcast as we're closing. I was really impressed with it. I love it. It's so raw and real. And I love that you have your kids on there too. They're so solid, and it's really great to hear the conversations with the different generations. In closing, I want to ask you, what keeps your heart and your mind focused on the Lord?
I have so much gratitude in my heart. Like, I could cry right now thinking of it. I truly am just grateful for everything that God's seen me through. I'm so grateful for my family, that God's given me an amazing husband and amazing children, and the relationships that we have. It is just so profound in that I know not everyone has that, or they just have much more difficult relationships in their life. And I'm just grateful to God. And so out of my gratitude, my heart is so full that I can't help but keep coming back and getting to know him and see him sustain me in all ways. And again, not just about the good things. It's not just about the blessings. It's seeing how he sustains me in the hard things. But when I step back and look at this really big picture, this big world view, I just, like, my heart breaks because he's such a good God. And I don't want to miss a day without him.
Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And if you want more content like this, head over to movieguide.org. Movieguide is a nonprofit organization, and we are supported every day by viewers like you.